Hi and welcome back to everyone. Today we will try to learn some of the basic features in Microsoft Word. We are using Office 2019 and we are using Microsoft Word over here. So this is the basic interface of Microsoft Word. You have different menu items up here. We call them ribbon. If you click, you'll see different options related to the things that you want to do. Now there are certain plugins just like I have installed Grammarly and Zotero, etc. But that's entirely up to you. But rest of the things would remain the same in your case. Now this is the basic interface of Microsoft Word where we type in the text. On the top you can see this ruler and on the left hand side also. So it is telling you that actually how your document would look like if you are going to print it. On this right hand side, you can see that there is a slider, and the main benefit of this slider is that if you click on it, we can zoom the document and we can zoom out the document. You can do it by this plus or minus sign, or you can slide this slider right and left in order to increase the overall view of the document. Or you can click on this side where it's showing the percentage of it and type it yourself according to the percentage size, whatever you want to choose. Then in this section, you can choose the font type, its size, and rest of the other features. For example, if we are typing in text over here, and if you want to change the font of it, you can either select the text. You'll see an option over here. It's exactly the same as this one. So this is just a tip like where you can easily change the type of the font, etc. So you can choose any font from here, so it would be changed. And then if you want to increase the size of it, you can go and select the size from here. Further, if you want to change the color of the text, you will select the text, and then you can select either the text color from here or you'll select it from here, and it will change the color of the text. Further, if you want to underline it, you'll have to click on this. If you want to make it in italics, you use this button. And if you want to make the text bold, we'll be clicking on this B button. Now it depends which font you are using and if there is a bold feature available on that or not. So if this is a normal text and we want to make it bold, we'll click it. Now you can see a difference that it is making it bold. Now, if you want to highlight the text, we use the feature over here. So it would give a highlighting effect to the text that we have selected. If you want to get rid of it again, just click it and select no color. So it would be back to its original condition. Now, if you want to change the size of the text, you can click on these buttons as well. It would increase or decrease the size of the text by simply clicking on it, and you can keep an eye on this area where it is changing the size of it. So this is just a quick button with the help of which you can change the size of the text. Now we'll see the difference between this text and this one. If we want to copy the text size of this text to this one, there is a feature called Format Painter over here. So if you want to copy the format of this text to the date, you'll select this text and then you'll click on Format Painter and then you'll paste it on this text which is over here. So in this way, you can copy the format of text from one place to another. Now we'll see how can we use this feature of paragraph over here. Suppose we have some text over here and we want to have some bullets in front of it. So we click on this one, it would add bullets in front of it. Now if we want to change the bullet type, we can select any of the bullet types so that it would affect or it would change the bullet types over here, which is these buttons which are appearing in the starting of the text. Now there are different options and you can change the level to anything from here. So there are different options. It depends how you want to display the information. If you want to get rid of these bullets, you'll select it over here and then you'll select it none from this one. So it would remove the bullets from here. If you want to have some numbers in front of this text, you'll click on this one so you'll be able to see the numbers. If you want to have the indentation of it, like in this format, you want to show it, especially if we are writing some reports, you can select this option. Now, we have indentation over here. If we want to increase the indent and if we want to decrease the indent, suppose you have a paragraph or certain things, and you want to shift these things to right hand side, you click on this button so it would indent the text on right. If you want to move it further, you click on it again and it would keep on moving, and if you want to decrease it, it would bring it back to its original position. Now we'll see these two different buttons where we can decide the orientation of the text. For example, if we want to write the text from left to right or right to left, for example, if you're using Arabic or any other language, you can select it from right to left if your language starts from right and it's going all the way to the left hand side. So that's the button for that. Now, if you want to arrange this text in the alphabetical order, you'll have to select the text and then you'll click on this button, which is the sorting button. If you click on it, it would ask that what you want to do, select OK. So now, as you can see, it has actually sorted the text according to the alphabetical order. Now, if we want to keep track of the paragraph spacing, we'll have to click on this button so it would show us all the spaces that we have provided in the document. Of course, if you go to print preview, you will not be able to see these spaces because this is just telling you the places where you have pressed enter or you have provided any space in between the text. Now, if we want to change the spacing between the text, there is a button over here which helps us in changing the space between the text. Sometimes it happens that we need to change the spacing or line spacing between the text. So we can select any option from here, or we can select remove spacing after the paragraph, so it would completely remove any sort of spacing between the text. If you don't want to use this button, you can right click on the text, select the text first of all in which you want to change the spacing of it, right click on it and then go to paragraph, and here also you can change the spacing of the text by simply moving the options or selecting the appropriate options as per your requirement. Now suppose you want to change the orientation of the text to left align or center align or right align, or you want it to be justified on both sides, you'll have to select the option from here. Suppose we have a complete text, a complete paragraph, it would automatically indent it according to the picture as shown over here. But since it's a text document, a basic example, so we are keeping it on the left hand side. Now, if you want to have this text in a table format, you can select this option from here, or you can select this one, or if you want to have a border around the text, you can select the second option, and if you want to have it underlined, you have this option. So we have lots of options over here with the help of which we can change the overall look of the text. Now suppose we have a sample text over here, and if we want to change it to a heading, so what we can do is we can find different options up here called normal, no spacing, heading number 1, heading number 2, and so on. So we'll select it heading number 1. Then using this button, we'll move it to the center of the text, and if you want to give it a look which should look like a label or the title of it, so we'll select the text and we'll select the option from here as this one. So now obviously you can see that this is the title of the page, and that's how we select the overall heading type on the document. Now, before you'll start working on the document today, which is an application form, and we'll see how can we manage it, and we can actually develop a full envelope for that as well. You'll have to save the document first. So in order to save it, you can either click on this save icon up here, or you can go to file and save the document wherever you would like to save. So we have provided you the sample text. You can copy it from there. In your first exercise, it's saying that copy the address, change the name to your own name, so you can change it anything. And then you can keep the default paragraph spacing in between. So we have this text. Now, in order to change the paragraph spacing of it, we'll click on the button over here, which would show us exactly what's the spacing that we are using. You can select on this one. You can either select it from here, or if you're not sure, you can click on line spacing options. And as you can see that it is using a line spacing of multiple, so you can change it to single. Once you do that, you can see a minor difference in the overall interface of the text. Now in the next question, they are saying that enter a paragraph space in between the address and then type in the text as the date. Now if we want to find out that if we have placed an empty space or a paragraph in between the address and the date, we have to click on this button. So here you can see that we have placed a space. So this icon is indicating that this is a paragraph, and then we are having a date up here. Then again it's asking that have a paragraph break after the date and paste the text that you have. Now since we are writing a letter, so it usually starts from dear something, so copy the text from the document, make sure that you have a space after this one as well. So we'll be typing our text over here. So we typed in dear Vitsinki. Now we'll paste the text which is provided with that, and if this thing is creating any confusion for you, you can click on this button again. So now you can see it all without the marking of paragraphs. Again, in question number 7, it's saying that go to the next paragraph or next line and paste the text which is provided. Make sure that the spacing in between is single, so we right click, go to paragraph and make sure that the spacing over here is single. Now in the next one they are saying that you can change this one into bullets as well. So we can select this option to have the bullets in front of these different questions to identify that these are different questions which are being asked in this application. Now as you can see, if we want to paste in new text automatically, once we press enter, it would show another bullet point thinking that we are still adding the bullet points. If that's the case, just press backspace, so it would remove the bullet from there, then press backspace again and for the third time, so it would be in a new line where you'll be able to type in the text again. So in that case, we have the next text which will be copied over here. Now as you can see that I have pasted the rest of the text over here, and if you click on the line break, you can see that there are some paragraphs, but after sincerely, if we need to have some signatures, we'll have to have some extra space after this one. There's another thing which the document is talking about. As you can see that there is an equal distance in between the text, but if I want to decrease this address or the space in between the lines, what we can do is I can press delete over here and I'll press shift enter. So now you can see that the spacing in between is a little bit less than the rest of the text. This is called line break. So in line break, we don't follow the overall paragraph spacing in between. As you can see now there is a more spacing, but if I'll go back and I'll press shift enter, there is a less space in between the program, administrator and enclosure. So that's what they are asking you in next question. Now we'll arrange it so that we have some extra space in between the text after sincerely. If you need to make some signatures over here, have enough space. I'm giving 2 paragraph breaks in between. You can do it as per your own choice. Now since we have typed in the text, and if we want to check any spelling mistakes on it, we'll click on review, and in review you'll find spelling and grammar. You can either do it by clicking on spelling or grammar, or if you use this F7 key, it would automatically go to spelling and grammar. So once you click on it, it would ask or it would show you the options where it is thinking that there could be possibly some mistakes in the text or anything. Since it's a name and it is detecting it that there is some mistake on it. If it's a name, you can click on this ignore once button and it would ignore it once. If you want to ignore it again, you can click on it and then it would show you that the text has been thoroughly checked for any sort of spelling mistakes in the text. Now in next question, it's asking you to italicize this text. So you'll select the text and select the option from here as italics, or you can use Control I as the shortcut from the keyboard. Click on it and we can see the text has been italicized. Then it's saying remove the spacing in between this text. So we can use the button over here and select remove spacing. That would remove the spacing from the text itself. In next question, it's saying that remove the spacing from this text. So we'll again select the text and we'll go to the spacing of the text over here and remove the spacing. Then it's saying that make it center aligned. So we'll select this option to center align it. Then it's saying change the size of it to 16. So we'll select the text and then we'll go over here and we'll select 16. So that would change the size of it to 16. Then it's saying to change the heading type of it. So we'll select this one to change the heading so that it looks like a heading. Further, if you want to change it with this one, you can select it, then move it to center, change it to black, and then remove the spacing by clicking on this one. So that would remove all the spacing and you can have a centered aligned text over here. So if you want to see how this text would look like, so we'll change this percentage to 16 over here to 100% and we'll be able to see that our document would look like something similar to this one. In next question, it's asking you to create an envelope for this one. So since envelope is related to mailing, we'll click on mailing and then we'll click on envelopes. So as you can see, it is showing you an envelope and it is showing you the text for the delivery address. We'll select it. If you want, you can write the return address as well and you'll click on add to document. Once you do that, you'll be able to see that it is now showing you the address and the return address. If you would have typed, it would appear over here. And now if you print the document, it would print the envelope of the document and the text or the application itself. So that's how you can write an application and then put it in an envelope which would be printed by the printer, and then you can simply mail the document. So that was about the application and envelope.